Well, hey, good evening, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from Fireside here in the Wyoming house. It's about 7:30 Friday night, and it's time for Friday night chat. Friday night's Fireside chat. Had a good day today. You know what? We had a mini snowstorm today, so I took some video of the snow. It's tiny snow, but it looks cool. So I took some out in the front of the house, and I took some video out the back of the house, and then every year we get just a really cool looking icicle formation. So I took a shot of that too. So I'm gonna go off and show you those three pieces, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit. Got a mini snowstorm going this morning. Really tiny flakes, but looks really good. This is our little snowstorm out in the back here. I have to get you up against a tree here for you to be able to see how small this snow is. No view of the mountain today. Just thought I'd show you guys some of the icicles that hang off the roof here. It's about the biggest one I've got on the house, but it's probably 4 feet, maybe 5 feet long. So it's kind of interesting how much difference snow is between up here in Grand Teton National Park and down in town. So we're 30 miles north of town, essentially 30 miles north of Jackson, and the house here sits at about 8,000 feet, and town sits at about 7,000 feet or a little bit under. And that 1,000 feet difference and that 30 miles from being down in the valley versus up here in the Tetons creates a huge difference in snowfall. Like we have 3.5 feet sitting here on the ground, but in town they might have a foot. And the wind is so bad in both places, but it really causes the loose snow. If it's loose, dry snow, it gets blown. And so, like the elk refuge, it was not a good day to film it, by the way. But the elk refuge is actually showing grass sticking up through it. I mean, it's probably got 2, 3, 4 inches. And town has, drifts and piles of a foot or two, but the actual snow coverage is an inch or two at this point. So even the ski area is hurting so far this year because they don't have enough snow to really put out a good front. They make snow every day, all day long, but I mean that's pretty poor substitute for natural snow. And they groom it for hours, like I showed you in the video yesterday. But people watch the forecast. They look at the snowfall at the base. If you're a skier, you look at the base and the top snowfall numbers, and it always tells you what the snow base is, and it doesn't look good. It looks great to the eye, but if you're a skier, it's thin and icy right now, and that's not what skiers are looking for, especially when they come to Jackson Hole. People are like, well, I can get that in Michigan. I can get that in Virginia. I can get that in Pennsylvania. I don't need to fly all the way to Jackson Hole to get that. So it's just interesting because up here you would think, some winter's in full force, and down in town it's cold, but not a whole lot of snow coverage. So that's kind of hurting not only the ski area, it's hurting the town a little bit. It's one of their slowest Januaries right now. I also think the economy plays a huge part of that. We've talked about that in the past. I think, they call it the K economy. What they mean by that is there's part of the economy that's up here and getting better, and there's part of the economy that's down here and getting worse. That's what they mean by the K economy. And I think the lower leg of the K is much, much larger than the upper part of the K. I mean, it might be, I don't know, top 10% is doing well and improving, and 80 or 90% of the people in the United States are hurting and maybe even getting worse. And I think that takes a huge cut into towns. Winter resort towns, I think, take it the hardest of any sort of vacation. And it's the one vacation people feel they can cut out. So anyway, definitely being felt here. I can see it in town. It's pretty slow. It's nice for me. I don't have a business that's tourist based. I get to drive anywhere I want to drive. I get to park anywhere I get to park. I can go shop anywhere I get to shop. I mean, I can go to FedEx and be the only one there. I can go to the hardware store and be one of 4 or 5 people there. I can go to the grocery store and only have a few people there. So it's a wonderful day-for-day existence for me, but the lounge is hurting, except for us regulars. We're the ones that keep it afloat. But it's not just them, it's the Creekside Deli, a couple doors down, it's the hotels. It's just it's being felt all over right now, and it's being felt nationwide, in my opinion. So my day is pretty routine here. I get up at 5 o'clock every day, like always, no matter where I am. I get up at 5, and from 5 to 6, I do little house chores. I feed Sasha. I do a load of laundry every night because what comes home from the lounge is pretty stinky, so I wash it like I'm doing laundry right now. But that's pretty much every night, just so I can. I don't want to bring that cigar lounge smell into the house. I certainly don't want to wear it tomorrow. So I just go ahead and do a load of laundry every day. But that means in the morning I got a full load of laundry. Make sure Sasha's got water. Just clean up anything that I messed up during the evening. And then I hit it 6 o'clock. I'm at the desk, and really from 6 to noon, 6 to 1. Right now I'm buried in the markets and paying bills, doing all the paperwork of a family enterprise that's required to be done. I handle all the bills, even in Maryland when I'm here. So that's just kind of my day. So when I kind of get done with that, I move on to kind of trying to respond to your comments. I'll make a cigar video like I did 2 days ago or yesterday, and I've got one more to do. I just didn't have time. I was too busy today. So I've got one more cigar review to get to you guys. Might be tomorrow. And then spend a little time with Sasha, and then off we go. We head down into town. We run errands. We go to the post office, go to the grocery store, do whatever we got to do. So, and then we head over to the lounge around 2:30, and we're there till officially they close at 6. They always stay open for people who want to sit there longer, but that's long enough for me. That 2 to 5, 2:30 to 6, that's enough. I mean, it's a wonderful time. Don't get me wrong. I've told you that 100 times, but that's enough time. And then we get back up here by 7, get that laundry going, feed Sasha her dinner, make sure we get her out. We get outside a little bit, and then it's time to sit down and do our fireside chat. So, gosh, it's really my day. Then I read a little bit or watch a little TV and go to bed. I'm in bed by 9:30, and God, that is my day. It doesn't matter if it's Saturday or Wednesday or Tuesday. That's just how I run my day. Saturdays and Sundays and holidays like Martin Luther King on Monday, that's a little bit different for me. It's a little bit lighter. The regular markets aren't open, but I'm heavy in the crypto market, so that's open 24/7. So I'm still involved. YouTube channel doesn't slow down on Saturdays and Sundays, so that's still there. But that's my day. It's pretty routine, and I kind of like it that way. So I think we'll have one investment thing today, investment school, probably we should start calling it, in one CEO school item tonight. So we'll just have those two subjects, and then we'll move on. Hopefully it's not too long of a video. So we'll do the investment school first. And so the one item I have for you today for investment is, if you're going to put money into anything, please don't do it just because somebody told you to. If it's your dad or your brilliant son or your best friend or your rich buddy or some dork like me, or your investment advisor, please don't allow your money to be placed into an investment vehicle that you don't understand. Know why your money's going in there, understand what the expectation of how hard that money's going to work for you in that investment, over what period of time. Are you expecting 5% a year every year for the next 20 years? Are you expecting this to be 10% over the next 6 months? Are you looking for it to go 5 times your money by Christmas this year? I mean, just understand why you're buying any particular asset and what you expect from it and over what time frame. And that may require asking some embarrassing questions. If you hear a great investment idea and you want to do it but you don't understand it, you got to ask a bunch of questions. And if you do that consistently over investment after investment, year over year, you will become incredibly aware and capable in the investment world. So I just had a buddy in the lounge tonight tell me, "Hey, I heard you talking about XCN the other day, so I went out and bought some." He didn't even know what it was, really. So And then he was saying, hey, how much money do you think we'll make? And, how many days do you think it'll be? And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Investing isn't really a science. I mean, it's as scientific as you can make it. You can have as many systems, indicators, and all these other things, but it's still the emotional macro market of the entire market, and all the people who are involved in it, and all the people who influence it. So I may have a great 30-day plan that doesn't pan out. It takes a year, or I might have a year-long plan that pans out in 90 days. Um, but it really bothered me when the guy said, "Hey, I just heard you talking to this other guy about it, so I went out and bought it," without even so much mentioning it to me or asking me a question. And so that just sparked my idea for tonight of don't do that. Don't buy something you don't understand why you're putting your money into it. It could work out, but the odds are against you if you don't get it. So, which I understand is the argument against crypto quite a bit. I mean, if you truly have no idea what it is, if you have no idea why this particular coin looks good or what its use case is, I agree with you. Crypto may not be the right vehicle. So, anyway, I think that's sort of the end of the lesson. I could go on and on about it, but I think you're all intelligent. You get it. Don't buy something you don't understand. Don't buy something you don't know what you expect from, and don't buy something you don't know what you're going to expect from over what period of time. That's it. That's it for investment school tonight. So CEO school tonight. We'll be talking about starting a side business, and I've had a certain number of people reach out to me and want to talk about, well, what sort of side business should I start? And I mean, I can't answer that for you. And a lot of people are talking about, well, it can't invade the rest of my life. It can't take up a lot of time. It has to be something that fits me, and it has to make me a lot of money. And those really aren't the criteria I would start with. The first one is, what are you good at? What are you good enough at that somebody would want to pay you for? Either your own personal time, your personal services, your experience, your expertise. Is there something that you're truly good at that people might want to pay you for your time? The other is, what are other people really successful in as a side business that you would like to get started? The biggest example in today's world is becoming an Amazon associate and selling material on Amazon. But then you have to decide what material you're going to sell and why did you pick it. You're going to have to pick something that's not readily available on Amazon today. And you're going to have to source it. You're going to have to purchase it. You're going to have to get it into the Amazon system and then work with Amazon to sell it. Hugely successful. There are literally millions of people who have become successful that way. And I just throw that out as one example that as a generic answer. My other advice would be, do something that you're doing now. Just do it for yourself. If you're an accountant in a company, then hang up your own shingle. Hang up an accounting business or tax preparation business. Or if you're an IT specialist, start your own IT company. Anyway, I think you get what I'm talking about. You really can't start from, well, I just need to feel good about it and it can't take too much time and I'm going to make a lot of money at it. Because you're not going to make a lot of money at it. For the first year, you might be working for free for yourself, getting the infrastructure of the organization rolling. You might have to buy inventory. You might have to keep buying inventory. So there are startup costs to an organization, even if it's just a one-man LLC. And you're gonna have to pay for that. So you need a little bit of a cushion saved up so you can spend money to get your side business up and running. That's why I'm always harping on, get rid of your debt, put some cash in the bank so that you stand on firmer ground. Someone in serious debt, like crushing, mind-numbing, slavery level debt, home payments, several car payments, a bunch of credit card payments, and all the other expenses for the accoutrements of your life. hard to start a business. If you're starting a business to save your ass financially next month, that's just not going to work, in my opinion. So, as usual, I'll give you an example from my life. I was a management specialist, program management specialist, IT specialist. That's what I did. I did it for the MITRE Corporation. I did it for um, the Digital Equipment Corporation, DEC. I did it for one of DEC's clients, Momentum Distribution Systems. Then I did it as a true consultant for KPMG Pete Mark when I moved with Anne Marie from Seattle to Maryland. So we were right, I'm in DC. I mean, it was all down DC work. But I spent 8 years learning the craft from various different perspectives. And and it took me a while to get ready. It took me from 86 to 94 to get ready to start my side business. And I had to save up money because I really didn't take a salary for at least a year. Between 1 and 2 years, I really didn't take much from the company. That was just me billing my clients and then working through the invoice period to get paid. And then, for 25 years, I poured most of what I made back into the company. So it took me 25 years to get from when I started my company to when I sold it. It took me 33 years from graduation to the time I sold my company and have become largely the guy you see on these videos. So it's going to take longer to start up. It's going to be harder to do than you think. It's going to cost more money than you think. It's going to take longer to get profitable than you think. It's going to take a hell of a lot more time day to day. It's going to be a second job. I mean, you are fooling yourself if you don't think you're going to spend 4 hours a day, 6 hours a day, weekends, holidays. It's not going to be fun. But you can't just flip a switch, pick something that you feel like is going to make a lot of money, and spend an hour every couple days at it. It's just unrealistic. I just have to be honest. At least I know of no one who's ever started a business on a couple hours a week and they had to just blow up into this most profitable income generating machine. I just don't know of it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I don't think it does. And we have a couple people I talk about them quite a bit: Corvette Jim, and Piper Ken. I mean, Piper Ken took a second job, and rather than hang out his own shingle and start his own thing, which is not for everybody, he works full time Saturdays and Sundays every week, and has for a couple years maybe, and has to do it for a few more years. He wants to get somewhere. He's got a financial goal, and he's not trying to do it on a couple hours a week. He's working 2 full-time days every week, 52 weeks a year. Except for the federal holidays that he gets off his regular job, he works every day of the year, and that's pretty impressive. So that's an example of starting a side gig, but you're not going to do it on an hour. You're going to do it on 16 hours a week or something like that. Corvette Jim's another. He took a class. It took him a year, I think, to get his gunsmithing permit and certificate. Now he's working full time. So a year of prep, and now he's working full time. So that is another thing that, it's not easy. So I applaud both of those guys. The other idea I might have for you is start a technical, a blue collar side. Become an electrical journeyman, HVAC journeyman. At least those ones keep you inside. Or a plumber journeyman. These jobs are only becoming more valuable as fewer and people do it, and they're becoming more and more valuable dollar per hour wise. So if you can become an electrician and work with a prime contractor or a general contractor that allows you to work afternoons, maybe you can give 3-4 hours a day after work, move your work day earlier and spend 3 or 4 hours a day becoming from an apprentice to a journeyman, and then eventually a journeyman to a master. You can make real money and eventually hang out your own shingle to do it. So those are just some of my thoughts on starting your own business. There's no silver bullet. There's no easy way. There's no quick solution to do it right and generate real revenue off a second opportunity or a second gig, it's probably going to take a year or two to get rolling. Anyway, hope I'm not bursting bubbles, and I hope people do it, because it does change your life, but it's not easy. Even what's probably perceived as a cush investor guy life that I have, still takes me 6 hours a day, 7 days a week to do it right. And I can miss days, but trying to run 2 or 3, I'm trying to run my bots, trying to do my day trading, and I'm trying to do my crypto trading and investing. And I'm trying to take classes, and I'm trying to watch, learn, and do research. And all that every day takes me about 6 hours a day. Now, it's not on top of a full-time job anymore, but this little cush side job that I've got takes about 6 hours a day. And it rarely gives me a day off unless I just choose to ignore a training program or choose to ignore the research I need to do for next week. So even if you watch people and go, I want what they want, you probably don't understand what goes on behind the story. So just take time, understand, ask people who do what you're thinking about doing. Find someone successful in your second gig and ask them a bunch of questions. All right, guys, that's enough. I could go on and on about starting your own business. It's one of my passions. All right, guys, that's enough of me rambling on about some of my favorite subjects. I mean, investing in day trading, investing, crypto is a passion of mine. I sit in a house that crypto bought for me 4 years ago. Starting your own business, starting a side gig is a passion of mine. It's how I got here. It represented 8 years of prep and 25 years of execution. So it was the vast majority of my adult life. Man, they are passions for me. I mean, so again, I speak from scars. I speak from experience. I'm not trying to be a book. I'm not trying to teach from a textbook or some generic response or ideas. It comes straight out of my life in most cases. All right, guys, that's good. I hope you had a great Friday. I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend in front of you. Hope you got a great week in front of you. Plan it, make it happen. All right, guys, that's it. May God bless you. May God bless the lives around you. May God please turn his ear to hear your prayer. May he make his face shine upon you, and may he bless your life as he has blessed and continues to bless mine. That's it, everybody. Good night. Talk to you tomorrow.